Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2. Today we're going to be looking to get our first achievement, which will be sealing the Wonderland keyhole. But first, we have some Traverse Town stuff to take care of. We're going to run over here, we're going to talk to this mailbox. It's going to give us our... nothing. I forgot there's a aspect of the Keyblade. You have to go through a couple cutscenes before it will actually unlock things for you. This poor guy. So I'm just going to beat up the Heartless in the second district. I'm going to skip to the end of it because shadows are extremely basic enemies. So none of this is actually super necessary as far as the exploration I'm doing. It's more just for killing monsters and having some fun exploring. The way that this area works right now is if you kill 5 Heartless and then go back to the first district, it will let you progress to the next thing through the cutscene. You know you've hit your 5 when you go back to the first district and it's overrun by Heartless and you can fight them. Before that, it's just NPCs walking around as we were before. I'm going to spend some time beating up things, running through, and just introducing myself to various areas. I believe I go and I visit the Dalmatians here in a minute, but most of this first visit's just going to be a combat fest. This is a pretty long fight, so we're just going to skip to the end. The entire combat is just shadows. Aw, the poor puppies. Don't worry, we're getting it from home.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Again, I forget. You need Yuffie to tell you it's a Keyblade before it's a Keyblade.
Come on!
Occasionally I just check how much XP I need to get to the next level to see if I want to farm a little bit. Here I don't really want to do another 124. Though I do see that treasure chest up there, and I am willing to clear the combat out to get that open. You get postcard number 2 here. You put these in the mailbox and they give you rewards. Getting all 10 of them is pretty valuable. And as you can see now, District 1 is kind of taken over by Heartless. This means we're at the point where we can progress to the end of Traverse Town Stage 1. The way you do that is you go into the accessory shop, and then once you leave, you get a cutscene and another boss battle.
They'll come at you out of nowhere,
Who are you?
and they'll keep on coming at you, as long as you continue to wield the Keyblade. But why? Why would it choose a kid like you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. Now, let's see that Keyblade.
What? There's no way you're getting this.
Alright, then have it your way.
And here's Leon. This is a story encounter. You don't actually have to win this to continue. If you lose, the game will just keep going with a different cutscene. There are really 2 ways you can engage this fight. One of them is a direct approach, which is what you'll see me doing. This is because we did a bit of grinding earlier, so I can take the hits and not immediately lose to him at this point. He has a couple of just sword attacks that he'll swing at you with, and if you hit him at the right time, you'll parry him and then be able to swing through and stagger him a little bit. Additionally, he has a fireball attack where he'll stop and kind of charge it up and it will come at you. And just like with Wakka's Ball and Destiny Islands, you can swing this one back at him. And it's a completely viable strategy to just wait for him to throw the fireballs and keep hitting them back and only taking those openings to hit him. And that will stun him and give you an opportunity to hit him a few times with the Keyblade for free. But we're a little over-leveled for this and we just kind of beat him up. Even if the game's not ready to admit it yet.
I went easy on him.
You did not.
Looks like things are worse than we thought. A lot worse.
Gosh, there's nobody here. Sure is spooky.
Actually, I'm not scared.
Excuse me, did the king send you?
Come on, lazy bum. Wake up. You okay?
I guess.
Those creatures that attacked you are after the Keyblade. But it's your heart they really want. Because you wield the Keyblade.
I'm so glad that you're okay, Kairi.
Kairi? Who are you talking about? I'm the great ninja Yuffie. I think you might have overdone it, Squall.
That's Leon.
The Keyblade.
Yeah, we had to get it away from you to shake off those creatures. It turns out that's how they were tracking you.
It was the only way to conceal your heart from them. But it won't work for long. Still, hard to believe that you, of all people, are the chosen one. Well, I suppose beggars can't be choosers.
Why don't you start making sense? What's going on here?
Okay, you know there are many other worlds out there, besides your castle and this town, right?
Yeah?
But they're supposed to be a secret.
They've been secret, because they've never been connected. Until now. When the Heartless came, everything changed.
The Heartless?
The ones who attacked you, you remember?
Those without hearts.
The darkness in people's hearts. That's what attracts them.
And there is darkness within every heart.
Hey, have you heard of someone named Ansem?
And Sam?
He was studying the Heartless. He recorded all of his findings in a very detailed report.
Gosh, can we see it?
Its pages are scattered everywhere.
Scattered?
Too many worlds.
Oh, then maybe the king went to find them.
Yes, those were my thoughts exactly.
We've got to find him quick.
Red! First we need that key.
That's right. The Keyblade.
So, this is the key.
Exactly.
The Heartless have great fear of the Keyblade. That's why they'll keep coming after you, no matter what.
Well, I didn't ask for this.
The Keyblade chooses its master, and it chose you.
So, tough luck.
How did all this happen? I remember being in my room. Wait a minute. What happened to my home? My island? Riku! Kairi!
You know what? I really don't know.
And now the Keyblade works.
Yuffie, go!
Yuffie!
Sora, let's go!
At this point, the game wants you to kind of explore around and find District 3 and go fight the guard armor there. We are going to do a little bit of just beating up monsters on the way. So this enemy is the Knight. These guys aren't very different from your typical shadows, though they have the armor on them and they have a parry attack when they're winding up for their big ability. This can cause you to get a lot of parries if you're trying to attack a group of them and they're all using their ability, which can be a little frustrating, but it's not going to deal damage to you, so nothing to be too worried about. Just keep on swinging and you should get there. Checking again if I want to level at this point. I make the decision that I think I just want to go fight the boss.
Oh. Gosh, are these the Heartless guys?
Let's go get them to see.
The key!
So here's the first fight you get with Sora, Donald, and Goofy all together as one unit. It's just some knights, I think a couple of shadows. Nothing entirely crazy. the guard armor. This fight is mostly based around all of the individual parts being able to move and act of their own accord, and the craziness that can come off of that. The really easy way to parse it all down is that there are hands, there are feet, and there's a body. And each of these will sort of act in an intuitive way for what it is. You know, the hands will throw punches and swipes at you, the feet will stomp around and try to step on you, and it's just a lot of chaos. The way that I like to approach this fight is to first isolate the arms and take each of those out. The reason for this is, as you can see, the arms are more easily able to detach themselves from the body and move around, and it keeps the chaos in check if you get rid of them first, because then all of the entities that are doing things tend to be in the same general location. You'll see as you kill body parts, they drop a lot of HP orbs, so you can use this incremental progress through the fight kind of as a sustain. And once you get both hands down, it's just a matter of switching to the feet. This is a really good fight for learning how to lock onto targets, because the easiest way to get through it is to take out, one appendage at a time really fast and reduce the number of enemies on screen. And if you lock on to a single target and then focus on it with your R1, you don't spread your damage out by taking, attacks on the closest things to you, simply based on opportunity. And there's one more trick up this guy's sleeve. After you take out all of the appendages, the torso itself has this nasty spin attack that you see right there. This does a lot more damage than you would expect, and it's actually capable of hitting you a few times in one attack, so if you're not careful, you can get through the entire fight and then just eat dirt when you get to the spinny part. But with our earned stat boost, we're able to get through this one with pretty little trouble. And with some cutscenes, this is pretty much the end of Traverse Town 1.
So, you were looking for me?
They too have been seeking the wielder of the Keyblade.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other worlds on our vessel.
I wonder if I could find Riku and Kairi.
Of course.
Are you sure?
Who knows? But we need them to come with us to help us find the king.
Sora, go with them. Especially if you want to find your friends.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand?
Oh?
No frowning, no sad face, okay?
Yeah, you gotta look funny, like us. Yup. Whoa.
Yes, but ones on happy faces.
Happy?
That's one funny face.
Okay, why not? I'll go with you guys.
Donald Duck.
Name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
All for one, one for all.
That little squirt took down that Heartless. Who'd have thought it?
Such is the power of the Keyblade. The child's strength is not his own.
Why don't we turn him into a Heartless? That'll settle things quick enough.
And the brat's friends are the king's lackeys. Slug on the eyes, they're all built rats by the look of them.
You're no prize yourself.
Shut up!
Enough! The Keyblade has chosen him. Will it be he who conquers the darkness? Or will the darkness swallow him? Either way, he could be quite useful.
And here in this conversation, if you beat Leon in the original encounter, you don't just get the 500 money, but you also get an elixir. Dodge roll, one of the most important abilities in this game. It gives you iframes, it gives you extra mobility, it costs 0 resources. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I suggest using it often. I'm gonna quickly clear out my Jiminy Journal new things. I won't make you watch all of this. Here I would like that tech boost, but I don't want to give up both Slapshot and Berserk. I would give up Berserk, but not Slapshot at this point in the game. So we're just going to go without it. Tutorial Trinity gives us our third postcard. So at this point we're pretty much done with everything we need to do in Traverse Town 1. There are 2 things I would like to do before walking away from this world. The first is I want to go and make sure that Merlin is available in home, get through the initial cutscene with that. And secondly, I want to open up that doorway between the 1st and 3rd districts so I get the easier travel in the future. I'm also just taking a minute here to assess the stats and initial levels that we're all at because it's been some time and I'm not sure where we are. For a minute there I was surprised that there were no enemies spawning in because I'm so used to there always being somebody here, but on the occasion where you beat the guard armor and finish Traverse Town 1, the entire city is pretty much safe. At least for now.
Fire!
Doobity-doop-doo.
There's something about this musty place. It reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember?
Kairi?
Sora?
I take a minute here to light this fire. This is for the synthesis we'll be doing later. Just checking out if there's anything I want to get early, but probably not. Also going to take a minute here and make sure I have everything equipped the way I want it, which is basically just putting on this brand new Brave Warrior. So I'm going to take a minute here and I'm going to reconfigure how Donald and Goofy work. This little customization menu gives you the ability to change the ways in which they choose to support you and the frequency in which they do so. And it's valuable to change some of these to only in emergency, specifically with the items, because it will cause them to wait until they're getting maximum value out of things like potions and high potions. It changes the threshold in which they try to throw them. As the game goes on, we're going to make a few tweaks to these based on what abilities our allies will be getting. Specifically, when you get later into this game and Goofy gains a couple abilities that allow him to use his MP to either heal or give you magic back, that is when you turn off his offensive abilities and turn him into a magic battery. But for now, we're just going to have our allies be doing some offense and dealing extra damage. And with nothing left to do in Traverse Town, it's time to move on with the game. So here's the gummy ship. This portion of the game is effectively a rail shooter, a la Panzer Dragoon or Rez, or even things, you know, in the nature of House of the Dead or Time Crisis, Operation Wolf. You're just going through a predetermined stage with enemies, and you shoot them before they hit you, and there's different obstacles to get them in your way. One of the cool things about this, though, is that your character, in this case the gummy ship, it's a customizable entity, so you, over the time of the course of the game, can get different new weapons, new items and shields, different abilities, you can go faster, all kinds of crazy customization things, and you can even change the design and the look of your ship to reflect, you know, whatever way you want to look and play. Though it's also not tuned to a difficulty where you have to put an incredible amount of thought into it. It is entirely reasonable to go through this game without ever changing your gummy ship, and as long as you fly with a bit of caution, you know, treat the enemies with respect and get out of the way, you should be fine and never get shot down. And on the other side of that, you can also just build a powerhouse ship that blasts through everything without you having to think. It's really whatever you want. You should want things for yourself. You're worth it. And we've made it to Wonderland.
Oh, my fur and whiskers! I'm late, I'm late, I'm late! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear! I'm here, I should be there! Oh, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late! Oh, the queen, she'll cut my head for sure!
I have a little white bunny. His name is Count. He's a really good boy. He's a rescued lab rabbit. He's a ruby-eyed white. Looks like a little vampire bunny. He's real cute. And very sweet. He loves hanging out with us. I love him so much. Make sure you push that bed before you get small, otherwise you're going to have to make yourself large again and push that bed.
How did he get so small?
No, you're simply too big.
That talks!
Must you be so loud? You woke me up.
Good morning.
Good night. I need a bit more sleep.
Wait, what do we have to do to grow small?
Why don't you try the bottle? Over there.
So as we get into Wonderland, there's a couple of things we're going to do here. There's a trial against Alice where she's being accused of whatever the Heartless are doing here, and we're going to go around and look for evidence to try and exonerate her of that. And then she's going to go missing and we're going to spend some time looking around. The Cheshire Cat is here, he's going to hang out with us a bit, and eventually we're going to fight a boss and then move on with our lives.
Court is now in session.
I'm on trial? But why?
Her Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, presiding.
This girl is the culprit. There's no doubt about it. And the reason is? Because I say so, that's why.
That is so unfair.
Well, have you anything to say in your defense?
Of course. I've done absolutely nothing wrong. You may be queen, but I'm afraid that doesn't give you the right to be so mean.
Silence! You dare defy me?
Hey guys, we should help her out.
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling? Oh, yeah. And that's against the rules.
The court finds the defendant guilty as charged for the crimes of assault and attempted theft of my heart. Off with her head!
No! Oh, please!
Hold it right there!
Who are you? How dare you interfere with my court?
Excuse me, but we know who the real culprit is.
Uh-huh. It's the Heartland.
Anyway, she's not the one you're looking for.
That's nonsense. Have you any proof?
Alright, so now we have a chance to go around and start doing some things here. The main thing that we're going to be looking for is the 4 evidence boxes. Technically, you only need to find one of them to progress the story, but you get Blizzard early for completing it, and it's good for XP to go exploring around and finding the rest. And it also just feels a little bit more completion-y. So, the first box of evidence is in this first alcove here, just to the right when you walk in. You'll also notice these flowers sitting around. Some of them are required for story things, some of them will give you long-term meta Jiminy Journal stuff. The rest of them tend to just give you upgraded versions of the item that you put in. So you put in an ether, it gives you a heavy ether or a mega ether, or you put in a potion, it gives you a high potion. I don't really take full advantage of those in this run-through, but it is a pretty cool idea. After we clear this out, we have this jump up to the right, and that's where we're going to get our second box of evidence. I know you can make this jump. Scan G. It gives you a little map in the gummy ship menu when you put it on your ship. Pretty cool. This chest here gives you puppies to send home, so make sure you grab that one. The point of these enemies is to make you fall off. Don't overexert for them. There's actually a running theme with that in this game, especially when you get to places like Hollow Bastion. But through that tree, we have our third box. So to get the next one, you have to talk to this flower. It wants a potion. You give it the potion, it grows you up. And then you do a few things when you're big. You want to jump on this log over here to make the grass rise. And then you want to get the acorn down and the tree to spin. So the order you want to do this is you want to make the acorn fall, and then you want to get the tree to spin, and then you want to eat the acorn. And this will put the tree in the opposite orientation, which will allow you to make the required jumps to get to the next box of evidence. This rock leads to the tea party area. I, for a second, thought I could push it, but I believe you have to just wait for it to move when you get through other things. It may be after Alice disappears. I did all that before realizing there's actually a different jump up that I should be going to. And the final box is through here. It's a little tricky, you just gotta make a jump. You just line it up and send it.
Deep freeze! Deep freeze!
So where I'm going right now is actually where you're supposed to go after the encounter that I just skipped. I basically did an extra Mario Kart lap. After the encounter, this room will be sideways and I'll be able to do things in here. Not a huge loss, I'm just going to beat up some bad guys, maybe get some XP, and then we'll move on.
Deep freeze! Deep freeze! Deep freeze! See ya! See ya! See ya!
So now with our evidence gathered and us back in our normal state, we're going to go talk to these cards and we're going to start the rest of the trial with the evidence. The way this works is, because we got 4, it's going to be our 4 against her 1, and we have a blind 80% chance to get it with a random box pick. Every time you play through, it's going to be in a different box, so there's no real way to guarantee it, but this is your best chance of getting a Heartless over an Alice when you pick the random blind box. And getting the Heartless over the Alice allows you to have Donald and Goofy available during this fight. It's not a super difficult encounter, especially since we've leveled up a bit and we're still ahead of that curve. But we like having Donald and Goofy, especially with the ads in the fight, and they'll take a lot of that heat for us. The way this encounter works is there are ads and there is a tower. And your focus should just solely be on the tower. If you deal enough damage to it, it's over. The way to deal damage to it is in several phases. You have to break the first wheel on the one side, and then the second wheel on the other side. And then after you break both wheels, you can start damaging the tower proper. While this is happening, the cards are going to be coming at you and trying to hurt you. You can beat up the cards and they'll give you HP and MP and whatnot, but the easiest way to take care of this fight is to just beat up the tower and ignore everything else when you have Donald and Goofy. As you see, explaining it took longer than doing it. Here's a new enemy. He's called a large body. Their thing is that you can't hit them on their big robust tummies. So you want to hit them on top of the head or around the back. They have a jump, they have a flail that hits you, and then when they get to a low enough HP threshold, they have a desperation move here where they get angry and tantrum and then they run towards you with their tummy out. And that can deal a lot of damage. And when they do that, the best idea is to just dodge roll to the side, get around behind them, and then hit him with a combo from behind. Usually when you get them to the point where you can hit them with that, or they use that ability, your next combo will kill them. There's also these little guys. They're called Red Nocturnes. I haven't mentioned anything about them yet. There's a whole class of symphonic elements in this game. They all have their color, and then either nocturne or symphony or opera or rhapsody or some sort of musical follow-up. And they're basically casters that specialize in one specific element of magic within the game. You can beat them by casting the opposite magic on them. You can also just use physical on them. They're pretty weak to that, although they are quite nimble, so your accuracy will matter. Yeah, so I was incorrect earlier. This is the room you want to be in to progress the story. The room I went into earlier is also now reoriented, but I believe it is for more items or discovery on some other level. After you clear out the enemies, you jump up and you can touch these two torches, and this is what's going to allow the boss to spawn in the main room.
Come on! Come on! Deep freeze! See ya! Deep freeze! Ha!
I think it is worth mentioning at this point that if I did not level up the amount that I did, some of these fights would be absolutely destroying me. But that's okay. That's one of the points of this entire series. I'm going to show you how to get all of these achievements without being all that great at the game. At this point, the next thing to do is to go through that door over there, and in that main room where we get big and small, that's where the last boss of the world is. However, I want to go explore that last bazaar room before that.
Deep freeze! Deep freeze! Come on! Deep freeze! Deep freeze! See ya! See ya! Deep freeze! Come on!
I don't know why I did that. But I think now it's boss time. So this boss is called Trickmaster. He's really difficult, and I'm going to show you how to fight him. You walk up to him, and you jump, and you swing. And then you jump, and you swing. And then you jump, and then you swing. And then you jump, and then you swing. And then after a little bit you jump, and you swing, and you jump, and you swing. And you jump, and you swing. And you jump, and you swing. And then you jump and you swing. You jump and swing a little bit. Spend some time here jumping and swinging. You jump and swing at him. Here I jump and then I swing a bit. He eventually starts walking over here to the fireplace and he's going to light his weapons on fire and they're going to do some extra damage. And there's a way that you handle this. So you jump at him and you swing. And if he tries to do anything else to you, you jump and you swing. And sometimes he'll, you know, parry you, but all you gotta really do is jump and swing. Here I try jumping and using some magic. It's unnecessary. Really, the best way to fight this guy is you jump and you swing. Tried and true method of jumping and swinging always works. You see those little musical notes coming off of him? You be singing, we be swinging. You jump, and you swing. Little jumping and swinging. And there we go. That's Wonderland.
What a racket. How's a doorknob to get any sleep? I believe once we leave the world here, it's going to give us our first achievement. Heck yeah. In total, there are 55 achievements in this first game, so we're getting there. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we're going to go back to Traverse Town, and then probably hit up Olympus. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much for hanging out. And until next time, be good to each other, y'all.